and gentlemen, hello, 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 hey now and a hey now. As I adjust my YouTube camera here, do we like it? No, I don't like that. Let's see. Let me get it right where I want it. Is that where I want it? Is that it? Have I got it? Hey now, everybody. Welcome to a brand new The Lino Talk 99.5. I can figure out what to say there. It took my. By the way, when you take your headphones off and you're doing the radio show and you just hear yourself in this empty room, sounds super weird. Don't ever do that if you're a radio person. Never take your headphones off while you're doing your show. Super strange. Welcome in, everybody. Glad you're here today. Busy day, as always. What is today? Wednesday? Got a lot of stuff going on left and right. Movement in Minnesota. We got things happening here in Alabama. We got stuff happening all over the place. I saw yesterday this deal about who was it? The mayor of Irondale, and I don't even remember his name, but he was talking about tamping down the fear that people have of ICE being in the community. And I don't know if he meant by like, it's almost as if he didn't come out and say, I want to kick ICE out of Irondale. Like he wanted to say that, but he was afraid to say it.
Well, that might be a fact of knowing your base.
And I was just, I didn't really get what he was saying. He was kind of saying something without saying it. But hey, listen, I mean, the rest of these liberal mayors, they feel empowered, so just go for it. I think I assume the guy's a Democrat mayor there in Irondale, but whatever, dude. Whatever you want to do, buddy. But Tom Holman and the boys are gonna keep doing their job. Doesn't matter how much you don't like it. Steve West, how are you today, man?
I'm doing good, man. James D. Stewart Jr. is the Irondale mayor's name.
Yeah, that sounds like him. I don't even let's see. I'll tell you what he said. Irondale Mayor James Stewart. James Stewart. He says he will not help ICE tear families apart. He said he wants to eradicate fear. He said, we're going to be just, right, and fair. We're going to do that for every citizen that makes up our community. Because at the end of the day, everybody's human and they should be treated like a human being, regardless if they are a citizen or if they're not a citizen. Does that count for everybody that's breaking the law?
I guess.
Like, everybody that commits a crime, like, do we use the same philosophy? That we gotta treat them like a human and then let them go? Because that's what they're saying. They're saying in order to treat them like a human, we gotta just not arrest them for crimes. So, again, does that apply to everybody? It seems to be what he's saying. Did the mayor of Irondale just say that he wants to outlaw criminal charges? Does he want to legalize? Irondale wants to legalize everything. It sounds like what he said to me. So take note of that, AL.com, if you want to put that in your next piece. Irondale mayor proposes to legalize everything. Heroin, prostitution, murder. You got it all in Irondale. Which, by the way, my wife loves going to the Irondale Walmart, and I always tell her, I'm like, I think the Irondale Walmart's a little overhyped. She's always like, yeah, it's the best Walmart. And I'm like, I don't know, it's not. It's not. And Irondale's just not what it used to be. Not back in the days of Century Plaza. I used to spend a lot of time.
Remember those days.
When Century Plaza was there, I spent a lot of time there. I remember buying one of my first unedited parental advisory CDs at the Galleria. What was the name of the music stores there? There was one that was called, was it Goody's?
Sam Goody.
Sam Goody. And I felt like there was another one.
There might have been, and I can't remember. It's been a while.
But anyway, like my mom did not want me whatsoever having CDs that had parental advisory stickers. Like she was against it. At one point, I accidentally, this was after I was 16. I don't know. I was probably in like, I was driving. So maybe I was in 10th or 11th grade. And I had Ludacris Word of Mouth, the album, which has got a bunch of nasty language in it. You know, it's a rap album. And I left it in the CD player, and she got in the car, and it started blaring. It was like, move, bitch, get out the way. And she jerked that CD out of the CD player and snapped it. Snapped it in half.
Hello.
So I had to go buy another one. But that Century Plaza instance I'm thinking of, I think I bought the Papa Roach album, which was called, it was the one with Last Resort and Dead Cell and all that. I don't remember what the album name was. Let's see. Papa Roach album, Last Resort. Let's type that. It was, what album? Infest. That was the name of it. Infest. Yeah, that was a good album. And then there was another one that I got in trouble for, which was Jay-Z Hard Knock Life Volume 2. I got in a lot of trouble for that one because they took it from me and they took it and put it in their bedroom, my parents' bedroom. They're still together at this time. And one day I went in there and I saw it laying there on the dresser. And I was like, I could probably just take this back and start listening to it again. And so I did. And then they found out I took it back. And then I was in real trouble.
In trouble then, yeah.
I was in real trouble at that point.
Well, and I remember that whole, what was it, Parent Music Resource Coalition or PMRC? I forget what the C stood for. But I just remember them going up on Capitol Hill and calling for this. And I was on the radio at that point in time, and I just knew. I could tell it. I predicted it at that time. Because we could go into a record store, just because it had a sticker on it didn't mean you couldn't buy it.
It was Tipper Gore and
all those other people that were idiots.
Was it Dick Cheney's wife in there?
Maybe. But either way, I knew what was going to happen. You get teenagers like you and I were at the time. We would go into a record store with money burning a hole in our pocket, not necessarily with a specific album in mind, start flipping through the albums, going through and going, this has got a sticker on it. Wonder what it means. Go up and buy it.
Yeah.
Because you weren't restricted to do it. And sure enough, that's what happened. And I also remember there were two versions of the Warrant album, Cherry Pie. One didn't have the sticker on it. The other did. The one that did had an extra cut on it called the Ode to Tipper Gore. And all that it was about a minute and a half of Janie Lane and the guys from Warrant with every single cuss word that they ever laid out in a concert, all in a row.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. Yeah, I remember that. I feel like that there was and there was something that happened with Walmart, because remember at one time, and this still may be the case, I don't know, but Walmart, after the parental advisory stickers came out, they ended up taking all of those off their shelves. Like they wouldn't sell them at all. They only had clean albums in their music spot, the music department or whatever they call it. And so Starship Music was a store in Irondale.
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember that one either.
And Greg said Turtles. I remember Turtles. There was one in Hoover as I was growing up, and I don't remember it being across from the Galleria. I remember it being up where we used to call Hoover Square, which now has that big, I can't even remember the name of the buffet that's in there, but it's like across from Tameron Honda. But I remember them.
Yeah. Anyway, Irondale used to be a good place to go. Used to be a nice place. Donald says April Marie had reported on your show months ago that the Irondale mayor had set up a Spanish-speaking call line to report ICE agents' locations. I think I do remember that. Just typical Democrat mayor stuff. Like, he's not He the thing about, for instance, the mayor of Irondale, he doesn't have enough backing in a state like Alabama and surrounding cities to be able to actually do what, say, Minneapolis has been doing or anything like that. Like, he's only going to be able to take it so far before he's out on an island by himself because he's going to be a political hot potato and nobody's going to touch him. And at the end of the day, he may care about illegal immigrants, but he don't care about illegal immigrants as much as he cares about that mayor seat. That's 100% true. And that goes for most politicians. Anyway, Camelot music, Music
I haven't
Land.
seen one of those in years.
Yeah. I feel like there was another one besides Sam Goody. Is it Sam Goody? Sam Goody?
Yeah.
I feel like there was another one, though, that was in the mall. That was, what was it? Let's see. Old music stores from the 90s.
It wasn't Tower Records. I don't think Tower had a location down here.
Sam Goody, Camelot Music, Music Land, The Wall. I don't remember The Wall.
I don't either.
Radio Shack sold CDs, didn't they?
Some, yeah.
Blockbuster Music. I don't remember that one.
No, can't say as I do either.
CD Warehouse.
Edwin says Oz. Might it have been Oz?
I don't know. Coconuts, Music and Movies.
I remember Coconuts. That's a possibility because they were in this area.
Tower Records.
I don't remember Tower ever having a location in Birmingham.
No.
They might have, but I don't remember it.
FYE? Was that for your entertainment?
Yeah. There was a location they had for a while over on Lakeshore, but that was the only one that I knew of. That's not to say that they didn't have another one, but that's the only one I knew of.
I was going to say I remember that logo, but I don't think I ever went there. Yeah, man.
Most people are saying it probably was Oz Records.
Don't you wish you could just get a time machine and just go back to the 90s just to like hang out for a day, you know?
The 90s were really more your era. I would probably go back to the 80s.
Yeah, you go back to the 80s, I'll go back to the 90s, just hang out with the boys.
Tell myself to buy Apple stock too.
Go to the mall. Oh, I wouldn't. I wouldn't because, you know, I would want to keep it on track to where, you know, like I was originally. And I didn't make a lot of smart decisions back then. I don't want to end up in this whole situation where I'm in the butterfly effect and I screw up my life and I end up somewhere weird. So I'd have to do the same. If I went back in time, I'd have to do the exact same thing that I did, which is okay because that's what I want to do. I want to relive it. All right, let's go on a Hey Now roll call. For those of you that have texted in twice, texted in Hey Now and then texted in something else, you got yourself knocked out of the deal, and I am so sorry about that because I got to rambling. Early birds, you got Bo, you got Gene, you got Shane, Oleol, just a bit too early, which puts it the number one spot for today. It is none other than Jesse! Hey now! Wish that I had Jesse's girl. That's what song I would pick if I were you. Maggie at number 2, Hippie with the J's at number 3. Then you got Carrie J, Mike from Canada, Eric, Grumpy Old Goat, Heath, Dwayne with the J's, Leslie, Hell Yeah, Ricky. Man, we ain't seen Hell Yeah, Ricky in a minute. Bubba Rumble, Mark, Craig, Russ, Ron, Dr. McGready, Tracy, Rusty, Patrick, Neil, Joe, Christopher, Kenny, Bree, Trent.
Hey, they didn't kill Kenny.
They did not. Kenny never died, by the way.
That's true, I know. Kept coming back.
He kept coming back. I got to get back on the watching that South Park channel that I discovered on the Roku TV. I actually forgot about it. I may do that tonight. Again, reliving my childhood. South Park started in 98. Is that right?
Probably somewhere in that area, yeah.
South Park really opened it up to be like, hey, you can have fun and say what you want. But way before the liberals told you that there were boundaries and there was words you couldn't say and people you couldn't make fun of. South Park broke the mold. All right, 205-545-9950. Got a lot to get to. We'll do that when we get back. Aha! Look at me picking the music.
And you thought you'd never be able to do a request as you're the host.
I know. And look at me. I'm now requesting the songs, baby. It's Adrian McLean takeover. All right, so I've been, God, man, people have been throwing stuff at me left and right. Rumors record rack. You remember that?
I don't remember that one. Grumpy Old Goat did say Suncoast. I remember there was a Suncoast location in the Galleria, but I don't know whether there was ever one over at Century Plaza.
Trish said Turtles.
I remember Turtles, yeah.
I don't remember Turtles. My dad said Professor Marvel's at Eastwood Mall. But then he was like, that's a head shop. Music shop,
Okay.
head shop. He said
Close.
He said they sold all types of paraphernalia and had nice bongs. So,
Thanks for the
oh,
tip.
he floated the idea to me the other day. He's like, "Hey, you should let me come on that podcast of yours," and I was like, "You know, probably not a bad idea." I ran it by the boys and they were like, "We don't care. Let's do it." So, I may do that one day. I have to plan it out. Um, that's probably more of a Friday show, but I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Specs. Is Specs what is that? Specs
Not sure.
Peppermint. We had a Peppermint Records back in the day at my mall, says uh B Reed.
Peppermint. Doesn't ring a bell.
More Oz, FYE, Music Land, the Sound Shop. Brent says the Sound Shop. Oz had 2 locations in Birmingham, according to Charles. They also had the best head shop back in the day. Oz did. Oz was a head shop. Wait, so you had what did he say? Professor Marvel's and Oz. You had 2 head shops in the Eastwood Mall. Spencer's didn't have music though. I mean, Spencer's
How
is
does
still
I remember?
there.
No.
I actually went in Spencer's not that long ago.
That's been a long time since I've been into Spencer's.
Looking at T-shirts.
Yeah, Richard the Cop, Charlemagne Records downtown. I remember that.
Turtles and Suncoast, Soundship. Greg says yes. Your dad on the podcast.
Rooting for it.
On cue.
That was Jesse responding to the song.
Okay. Oh, never mind. That makes sense. Charlemagne Records. Tanya says Peppermint Music might have been in a mall in Columbus, Mississippi. So, good memories, man. Good memories. All right, so let's kick it off when we get back. We've got new revelations on Nancy Guthrie and Tom Holman, Minnesota, all kinds of stuff coming your way right after this. So when 1819 News reported that the Irondale mayor was saying that the sanctuary city status of Irondale and pledging not to cooperate with ICE, saying families who built this community with us are hunted. Tommy Tupperville retweeted it and says, "I don't think the mayor is going to like me very much." I was like, "That's why I like Tommy Tupperville. I got to get him back on the show."
We're actually going to have him on tomorrow morning.
Oh, really?
7 o'clock hour.
Nice. Yeah, man. Like me some Tommy Tupperville, man. He's a shoe-in. You know, and there's some things. I got a Leland Live logo in my shot. There we go.
Wrong button.
Threw me off. You know, there's quite a slew of people running for governor of Alabama.
Yeah, that too.
Coming up in this next election. And, you know, you've got your Democrat people, you got Doug Jones, you've got several independents. So that you've seen that Chad Martin guy? He's a guy that owned, a CBD store, or,
yeah, I know what you're talking
Delta
about.
8, whatever. I think he's running as an independent, but he's kind of big on, hey, we're going to get the hemp stuff back into Alabama. I don't think, even though I'm 100% in support of that, I don't think that you can really just run on that. Like, there's a lot of issues you got to be able to say, okay, I'm going to stick up for this, I'm going to stick up for that. And plus, you know, for me, and I think for a lot of people, we want to know, like, are you going to get along with the Orange Man and keep this America First agenda going? Because that's what our real concern is. That's what we want in Alabama. We want an America First, Alabama First agenda. There's a lot of problems in this state that, you know, that need to be addressed, that people that have been in the game for a long time absolutely will not address. Another one that's running is Stacey George. I don't know if he's officially gotten on the ballot. I don't think he has, but he's pretty much announced, like, he's giving it a shot. You know, it's a long shot, but I like Stacey. I think he's a good dude. He was, if you recall, he's the one in the Alabama Solution movie that we had in studio, whatever it was, 2 or 3 months ago. And so, a lot of people, man. A lot of people in that field.
According to what I'm seeing in the Republican primary, Stacey is not listed.
Yeah, I don't know that he got on the ballot. I think what he needed, X number of signatures to get on the ballot. Or he actually texted me about it, and I don't remember what the number was, but he's got a website. I'll tell you what the website is. Hold on. I think I told him I'd tell everybody what the website was, and I forgot. Where's it at? Let George Do It. For governor. So yeah, let George do it for governor. And so you got petitions on there, submit a signature, and he kind of lays out his plan and everything else. So good dude. I like Stacey, but you know, there's a couple heavy hitters in this race. And in particular, I mean, it's a long shot because he's running as an independent, and it's a long shot. I mean, a very long shot.
Independents have a very tough time here in the state. There's no doubt.
And you can say to yourself, well, Doug Jones won a Senate seat in Alabama, which shows that it can swing. But then you say, okay, well, Tommy Tupperville is no Roy Moore.
Amen to that.
It's a lot different. It's a lot different. So, anyway, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. 205-545-9950. 545-9950. Joe says, have you seen the Iron Lung movie yet? Steve, you're the movie guy. What is that?
It's a kind of independent made movie, if I'm remembering correctly. Made by a guy who's more famous for doing stuff on YouTube. Kind of got it self-financed, but it was number 2 last weekend in box office.
It's in theaters?
It's in theaters right now.
And what's it about?
I have no idea. I think it's a quasi-horror movie.
That was a horror movie. Yeah, I don't really watch a lot of horror movies. I don't watch a lot of movies at all. But I will watch documentaries. I like documentaries.
Well, there's the Melania one that's out in theaters.
I know. I want to go see it. Trish went and watched it Friday with her mom, which, by the way, to her mother, happy birthday.
Aw, cool.
Today is her birthday. I think she's probably like 39 or something.
And holding.
Yeah. I think she's maybe 39 or 40, which would make Trish like 10 years older than her own mother. But
you did not just say that.
Nah, she don't care. She don't care. Okay, so let me start with this. So Nancy Guthrie, I keep calling it Guthrie. It's Guthrie like the chicken. Guthrie. I've said it both ways like 100 times. Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Savannah Guthrie, and everybody kind of knows this story by now. I told you, we carried the press conference yesterday, and there was a reporter that asked that goofy sheriff about whether or not there was a ransom note. And his response was, I don't want to confirm or deny if there's a ransom note, which told me that there's a ransom note. Because if there's not, you just say there's not. But he didn't do that. He just kind of danced around almost every question that was asked. And after that, TMZ comes out. This may have even been before the press conference. TMZ comes out and receives the ransom note, or at least a ransom note, demanding a massive payment in Bitcoin for the release of Nancy Guthrie. And they say that this thing gives details as to, what was found inside the home, or, things of that would ultimately confirm that, hey, these people they know what they're talking about. TMZ also looked up the Bitcoin address that they want the ransom sent to, and it is, in fact, a real Bitcoin address. They said, this is TMZ, another scary twist in the disappearance of today's host, Savannah Guthrie's kidnapped mother. TMZ has received an alleged ransom note demanding payment for the release of Nancy Guthrie. The note, which was sent to us Tuesday morning, demands specifics and substantial amount of Bitcoin. The amount is in the millions, and the note demands the cryptocurrency be sent to a specific Bitcoin address. TMZ verified the Bitcoin address is real. There is a deadline connected to the alleged ransom and an element of, quote, or else. In the moment of our live stream, Harvey and Charles said she was wearing an item mentioned in the note. In fact, the note says she was not wearing it. The alleged ransom note also describes another item the sender says was damaged at her Tucson area home. So for them, they're saying all this kind of lines up. And one thing that I said when this all started, and it's simply because Tucson is so close to the Mexico border. I think it's like 60 or 70 miles from the border, is that this could potentially be cartel related, but it also could be something related, like an inside job, if you will. And by inside job, I don't mean Savannah Guthrie is involved in this, but there is speculation that the son-in-law is somehow involved. And I don't know which son-in-law, but who knows, man? It's weird, dude. It is weird. And there's just not, I don't know, I don't get a sense of urgency from the sheriff's office themselves. And maybe it's just that sheriff in particular, but they just kind of seem to be, And if it is, in fact, something cartel related or organized crime related that they are aware of that maybe they've dealt with in the past, maybe that's why they're like seemingly standoffish because they understand, the danger that these people pose or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box here. I don't know what it is, but more details will come out about it. A lot of people say, "Well, why does she matter?" Well, there's people go missing every day, and it's the way the media works, man. It's why they're talking about it. It's because it's a well-known person. Savannah Guthrie is in the media, and if it's one of their own, you could imagine like if there was some sort of similar incident that happened with somebody in the radio industry, you know, we would be talking about it because we're like, man, that's kind of hits close to home, so on and so forth. So we'll see. We'll see how all that plays out. And any information that pops up, we will bring it to you. I do want to talk about when we get back about the SAVE Act. I talked a little bit about it yesterday. Some new movement on that front and not necessarily good movement. I will give you that when we get back on the other side. Hang tight. Trish said, "Good thing you're not trying to be a true crime reporter." Just because I don't know. I don't know what's happened. She's kept up with it more than I have, just even over the past 24 hours. Because there's just so many moving parts, it's hard for me to keep up with everything. But this is kind of her forte. Like she's your stereotypical true crime white chick that loves keeping up with that stuff.
She likes doing the amateur investigation kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think in a different life she would have ended up being a detective. She wanted to do that. So she says I'm no authority either. So more so than me. Yeah. So what happened, or the information that's out there? You heard about the blood. You've heard about the ransom note. Apparently, the cameras. She had Nest cameras, and the camera on the front door is missing. And I assume that means that whoever did this, they did it in a very organized way, premeditated way, and took the front kind of Ring doorbell camera or whatever you would call it, and also smashed the other cameras in the house. And law enforcement allegedly has those cameras, but I guess they're useless to them until they get with the company and get the, I get the footage from their cloud or whatever it is in order to see if they can get anything or see anybody. I don't even know. I mean, based on how this all has gone down, I don't know that you're going to get anything on those cameras, because it sounds like whoever this was knew exactly what they were doing, especially considering that they've gone to the links, the links to put up a ransom note. So good luck with that, cuz. Better you than me, because I would never find these people. I'd be like, bro, I ain't got $1 million in Bitcoin. You're just going to have to take the L on this one. No, I wouldn't do that. If I was a cop, I wouldn't do that. I'd probably do a better job than this sheriff has, at least at the press conference. I'd be like, which one want to know? I'll give it all to you. Let's all get together and find her. I do. It's weird that you don't let some of that information out. I mean, for instance, like the millions of dollars in Bitcoin, like tell them what the ransom note says. Maybe somebody steps up and is like, hey, I got a few $1 million in Bitcoin. I'll just donate it. And then you get your mom back.
Well, and I mean, I know that all of this is online, but there's got to be a way to track as things go from one site and one place to another. There's got to be a way to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a Bitcoin is so, and cryptocurrency is so undetectable that I don't know. I think you could probably easily get away with receiving cryptocurrency and never getting caught. There have been many scams out there. A lot of scams now make money from cryptocurrency. There have been programs out there where they will hire people in kind of this, almost like this pyramid scheme. There's one in particular that they had this thing where you get paid to go and click like on YouTube shorts or TikToks or whatever. And they would say, we'll pay you, $10 a day, or, $1 per like, and we'll pay you $10 a day in cryptocurrency if you just go and you like 10 videos. They'll send them to you. You like those videos. And the thought process is that people are paying a third party to get them likes, because there are ways to go out there and buy likes and buy followers.
And game the system.
It seems like one of those things, right? Well, then, they give you where you can do your $10 or $5, make your $5 a day. And they say, but if you pay, $700, we'll put you on the next level where you can actually make $30 a day. And you start doing the math and you're like, well, I can make that up in this amount of time. They said, but if you want to go to the third level, you send us $1,200 in crypto, we'll let you make $100 a day. go through and like, 50 posts or whatever. You got to go in there and do the work, but they pay you that money. And then they have another level that's like $2,400, and you could make $150 or $200 a day. And it all makes sense because you're like, well, if I pay that money, then I can make that up in this amount of time, and then I'm making, $200 a day just for sitting here on my phone and liking videos. And they'll do that, and and people will go and they'll tell their friends about it, and they'll tell their family, and then they get in the fold, and then they start doing the math in their head and say, well, yeah, if I can up front pay $2,000 and get, blah, 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 you get it. So it just builds into this big pyramid to where you're paying this company in crypto, by the way, thousands of dollars, so you can then make X number of dollars per day. And once they get hundreds or thousands of people signed up that have bought levels, they then just shut the whole thing down and take everybody's money.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And they take it via crypto. You've sent them money via cryptocurrency, and there's no way for you to track those people that did that.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate. Yeah, I kind of see where you're going with that.
And there are scams like that all over the place.
Unfortunately, you're right.
But the reason that people will buy into it is because in the beginning, they actually will pay the people. And they'll do it for several weeks or even months. And so as people are going and telling their friends and their family, hey, I'm making money on this thing. Like, they're getting money in their bank account paid from this weird company, and that convinces the friends and family to sign up, and then they start buying levels. And then, once the company's got a lot more money coming in than they got going out, they just
and when you described it, you used the word pyramid, which is a perfect way of describing it because it is a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, and they're people from other countries that are doing it, and there's just, because they're doing all of the transactions through cryptocurrency, you can't really trace it.
It's like that Ethiopian prince who wants me to give him, $500 so he can then pay me back $1 million because it's all stuck in a bank somewhere.
Yeah, with the deal that Donald Trump cut the other day with India with Prime Minister Modi, he should have made part of the deal that you're not allowed to do any more scams in the U.S. All scam calls are canceled. And for every scam call that an American gets, your tariffs go up 10%. That should have been in the deal. But it wasn't, unfortunately. Anyway, hour number 2 coming up next. As I stated, I want to talk about the SAVE Act, which is to secure the U.S. elections. It is, dare I say, the most important piece of legislation in Congress right now. And people, in particular Republicans, keep dragging their feet. I'll tell you why when we get back.